Hi, Rolf Snobeck here, and thanks for joining me again today. If 2020 showed us anything, it showed us that we can solve problems differently than we have in the past. In addition to that, I recently read a book by Chris Zarnik, Winning the War for Talent. It was eye-opening to me. It showed that baby boomers like myself, we look at the world differently than do Gen Xers and millennials. I always thought people were people. People are really different. Having said that, many of the new clients that come to us, they come to us because they're unhappy with the existing contractor that they're working with or with the roofs that they have on their facilities. And they tell us usually for one of three reasons. Number one, they're disappointed that their roofs did not last as long as they thought they should have. Number two, they're frustrated because they had issues with the contractor during execution. And number three, they're very concerned about safety issues that came up during a previous roofing project. And the question is, why do these things happen? So in the roofing world, there's three sides to the fence. There's the material side, the companies that make the stuff that gets installed. Number two, the design side, the architects, the engineers, the consultants that design the roofs for buildings. And number three, the contracting side, the companies that actually do the work. What I have found over the years is that building owners tend to be happy with the design professional that they work with, but they tend to be frustrated with the contractors that they work with. And the question is why? What's the difference? I've been in the business for 43 years now, 17 years on the design side of the fence, and the last 25 years on the contracting side of the fence. And what I've discovered is that how people buy professional design services differs fundamentally than how they buy contracting. So let me walk you through this real quick. Typically, when a building owner is going to get a design professional, the first thing they do is they do a needs analysis. What precisely do they want to hire somebody to do? They put together that needs analysis and they develop a request for qualifications that gets sent out, advertised, and sent out to different design professionals. The design firms will review the RFQ and put together their justification for why they're most qualified to handle a particular project for building owners. They submit that to the building owner. The building owner will review all of the submissions, and let's say they get 20, they'll pick the top 5 based upon that submission of who's most qualified for a specific project they want to do. Once they've selected those 5, they'll sit down and have an interview with each of those 5 vendors, and then they'll force rank them based upon the submission and the interview, who's most qualified, second, third, fourth, fifth. Then they'll make a selection of those 5 in that order. Then they'll sit down and say, we want to work with you and try to negotiate a fee. If they can't negotiate an equitable fee, they go to the second one. So there's a balance between price and value. And once they've negotiated a fair price for good value, then they make an award. That's very typical on the design side. I did this for 17 years. I never had a project that didn't end well by using this methodology. When I came to the contracting side, I was rather surprised because the buying process is much different. It looks like this. Number one, building owners will advertise or they will invite contractors. Traditionally, that was the yellow pages. Today, it's you just Google roofing contractor, and whoever shows up on page 1 gets invited. They ask the contractor for a price, they verify they're getting a warranty, and they award the project. At the end of the day, this buying process is much different than this buying process. And there's a reason this one works and this one doesn't. So having said that, we had to kind of reinvent the world in 2020. Maybe in 2021, we should take a look at a more sensible approach to buying out a roof. If you'd like to talk about this some more, let me know. Would look forward to having that conversation. Also, don't forget to follow me here on LinkedIn at #RolfTheRoofingGuy. Thank you. Thanks for listening.